Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm using a 3.5mm hook for these mini pearls, and to start I need to make a magic ring. Now I chain one already, I chain one more, so 2 chains. Make this loop a little bit longer. I yarn over, and now I go into the ring, grab the yarn and pull through and make a long loop. I yarn over again, go with my finger right here, and I go back. I grab the yarn again, pull through, again a long loop. I did 2 times. Again I yarn over, go back, that's 3 times, yarn over and go back 4 times. I do like this to make sure they are the same high. Now I grab the yarn and I pull through all of them and make a chain. Again I yarn over and I go into the ring 4 times. I repeat everything I did here. So yarn over, go into the ring, grab the yarn, make a long loop, and again yarn over. All the time I go with my finger to keep the yarn right there. Grab the yarn, pull through, yarn over and pull through. That's 1, 2, 3. I need one more. 4. Now grab the yarn and pull through all of them, and I chain 1. I have 2 of them. I will need 10 in total, so I need 8 more. I have all 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I grab my little yarn and I will close the magic ring a little bit. And now what I do is I go right here, where is the first puff stitch, with my hook and make a slip stitch, chain 1, and I cut the yarn. And of course I will hide the yarn. I change the color. So first I will go between the 2 puff stitches right here, make a chain and pull through. Now I chain 2, 1 and 2, and I yarn over and I will go back in the same space 4 times. 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3, yarn over, 4. Now I grab the yarn and pull through everything and make a chain. Now I move on top of the next puff stitch right there. First I yarn over, I go right there, I take this yarn with me to hide, and again I go 4 times. 2, 3 and 4. Grab the yarn, pull through and make a chain. Now between I go and make the 4 loops, and like this all the way. I already cut the yarn because I was filming and I don't know what happened, but I couldn't save. So I did the 20 puff stitches. Now I go on top of my first puff stitch right here, and I go with a slip stitch, and now I make a chain. and cut the yarn. I go back on the white yarn. I go on top of any puff stitches, make a chain right here and pull through. Now I chain 2, 1 and 2, and I go back with a double crochet, so yarn over, go back, and I make a double crochet. Now I chain 1, make a long loop, grab the yarn, and now here on this circle I will go 4 times. So 1 time, again yarn over, 2 times, again 3, again 4. Now I grab the yarn and I pull through the first 2 loops, and then the next 2 loops, the next 2, and the last 3. Pull through the first 2. Now grab the yarn, pull through, of course, this loop. I always make sure this loop is not too tight. Pull through that loop and the next 2, that loop and the next 2, and now that loop and the next 3. What I do now is I turn like this, I yarn over, and right here I go, this time with 6 loops. 1 loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6. And again I go grab the yarn and pull through the first 2 loops, the next 2 loops, the next 2 loops, the next 2, and again next 2, and now the last 3, and here I make a chain. Now I turn, this is the front side, so I see this puff stitch where I did the, we'll say, heart, and then another one, so 2 of them, and right here I go with my hook and I make a slip stitch. You see, 2 of them. I count the one, I just connect the little heart, and then the next one. And now right here I repeat everything I did here. So first I chain 2, I go with a double crochet, chain 1, make a long loop, yarn over, I go 4 times, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, the next 2, the next 2, and the last 3. Turn, I go with 6 loops right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I grab the yarn and pull through the first 2 loops, and to the next 2, the next 2, again next 2, and one more next 2, and now pull through the last 3 loops. I chain 1. Now I turn to see the front side, and again I go with 1 and 2, and right here I go and make the slip stitch, chain 2, and the double crochet, and repeat everything. In total I need 7 of them. I'll show you when I'm here what I do next. And now I go and make the slip stitch right here. I chain 1. I move on top of the next puff stitch and make a single crochet. Between the puff stitches, a single crochet, again on top, single crochet, between, single crochet. And now I go right here with a slip stitch, and then I cut my yarn. I go back on this color, and right here in the middle of the first one, go with my hook. I make a chain and pull through, and now I chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now what I do is I will go in each little bump and make a single crochet. So I go into the first one and make a single crochet right there. Now to the next one, 2 single crochet, 3, 4, 5, and the last one, 6 single crochet. Now again I go right here with a slip stitch. I chain 3 and I repeat everything I did right here all the way till here. And now right here I go with my hook and I make a slip stitch and cut the yarn. I have the 2 pieces. Now I need to connect them together like this. So first, to grab the white yarn, I go right here with my hook. I make a chain and pull through, then another chain right there. Now I chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I need to go to the other side. To go to the other side, I go with my hook right here. Grab that loop, pull through, and I make a chain right there. What I do now is I yarn over and I go in each chain and make a long loop and keep all the loops on my hook. So I made a chain right here, I yarn over, now I go to the first chain. I grab the yarn and make a long loop. Now I yarn over and move to the next chain. Yarn over, move to the next one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All the time I need 6 of them. Now I go and find the next puff stitch, and on top of the next puff stitch I go with my hook and make a chain. Now to complete, I grab the yarn, pull through this loop and the next 2. So 3 loops, that loop and the next 2. Lose this loop a little bit, grab the yarn, pull through that loop and the next 2. And again, grab the yarn, pull through that loop and the next 2. And here I go pull through the last 3, like this. Now I leave this loop, I go and find the next puff stitch, which is this one. Then I go with my hook right there, grab the loop, pull through, and I make a chain. And I see here there are little bumps, so I'll do the same what I did on the chains. I yarn over. I want to make sure I have 6 of them, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So I go right here, make 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. And now I need to find the next puff stitch, which is this one, because I connected right here. On top of that puff stitch, this one is mine. All the time I go with my hook like this and not like this. I go from here. And to complete the row is exactly how I complete the first row. So grab the yarn, pull through the first 3 loops, the next 2 loops, the next 2 loops, oops, next 2, and now last 3. 1 2 3 4 5 and the 6. Now I go to the next puff stitch. I pull through and make a loop. So this is gonna be my first loop where I go. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 all the time. So I repeat everything I did until right here. I did everything, and now here I go in each bump and I will make a slip stitch. And now I go right here and make a slip stitch right there, a slip stitch right there, and then a chain. Now I grab the other color and I will do this. I think it's a little bit more. And right here I go on my hook. I grab the yarn and pull through. And now I go and do like this. I go with the yarn on my hook. Now I grab the yarn and the white yarn and pull through. Again, I go with this yarn on my hook, go with my finger right here and keep the yarn, grab the white yarn and pull through. And again, there are 1 2 3. I will do 28 of them. It's very easy. Just go with this yarn on the hook, grab the white yarn and pull through and repeat. It looks very beautiful. Here I go and I will make a chain. And now on this puff stitch, go with my hook. Now I grab that loop and pull through, and here I make a chain. I'll cut that yarn and hide that yarn somewhere over here. And I repeat the handle in this side. make that one in the same way.